All right, let's just jump right in. If you've ever felt like you're literally running on a treadmill, working harder and harder, but never actually getting closer to financial freedom, well, this explainer is absolutely for you. Today, we're taking a really structured look at the evolution of income. We're going to decode the journey from simple side hustles all the way to fully passive wealth generation, drawing from some pretty incredible source material. Let's get into it.
Wow. This bold claim really flips the script on the traditional narrative of just getting a job and working until retirement. I mean, for generations, actually, pretty much as long as we can remember, we've been taught this very linear, predictable path, right? Get a good education, snag a 30-year mortgage, work your 9 to 5 for 4 decades, and hopefully retire with a gold watch. But today, with inflation wildly outpacing wage growth and tech fundamentally changing how value is created, our sources push back hard on that old idea. They're suggesting that sticking strictly to that linear path literally caps your financial potential from day one. It's time we rethink where money actually comes from.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the core concept of our explainer: active income versus passive income, carrying buckets versus building a pipeline. Think of it like this. Active income is like carrying buckets of water from a river to your village. Every single trip gets you water. But the second you get sick or tired or just want to take a vacation, boom, the water stops flowing. Passive income, on the flip side, is putting in the heavy, often unrewarded upfront work to build a pipeline. It takes time, it takes sweat, but once those pipes are laid, the water flows automatically, whether you're awake or fast asleep. So ask yourself right now, are your daily efforts bringing home a bucket, or are they laying down a pipe? Our goal today is to help you start laying those pipes. Here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. 1. The extra income reality. 2. Active income. 3. Scalable assets. 4. Passive income. 5. The selection framework. And 6. Your next financial step. Okay, part 1. The extra income reality. Let's start by looking at why so many people are suddenly hunting for alternative income streams. Get this, more than 1/3 of working adults in the US already have a side hustle. 33%. That is a massive chunk of the workforce. This isn't just some fringe internet subculture anymore. It's a fundamental shift in how people are managing their financial security. And you know exactly why this is happening. The cost of groceries, rent, just everyday life, it's all skyrocketed. Relying on a single paycheck is increasingly viewed as a huge risk, a single point of failure. Whether it's to outpace inflation, build a safety net against corporate layoffs, or just fund a better lifestyle without drowning in credit card debt, the side hustle is now mainstream. Waiting around for a tiny 3% annual raise? Yeah, that's just not cutting it for most of us anymore. Moving right along to part 2, active income, or what I like to call sweat equity. This is where you start with low to no costs and pure personal effort. These are fantastic starting points because they utilize skills or things you already have. The freelance gig economy is absolutely booming on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. If you can write, design, code, or literally just organize a spreadsheet, there is someone out there ready to pay you. Then you've got house and pet sitting. People travel and they want their homes safe. Zero capital required to start that. You could tutor. You could flip thrift store finds, buy an underpriced vintage jacket and sell it online for a profit, or just use your car for delivery driving. Entrepreneurs call this sweat equity for a reason. You are directly trading your spare hours for extra cash. It's so accessible you could literally start this weekend. It's the perfect way to fund your bigger ideas later without taking on debt. To put this into perspective, sources show that something as simple as house sitting can earn you daily rates starting from 200 South African Rand, all without really disrupting your regular life. And sure, that's just one local example, but it proves that low-barrier active income is everywhere, no matter where you live. But honestly, the most important thing here isn't the money itself. It's the psychological win. Earning your first 200 Rand, or 20 bucks, or 10 euros completely outside of your boss's control is a massive mental shift. It proves to your brain that you can create your own independent cash flow. It's the spark for the whole shebang. All right, part 3, scalable assets. This is where we go digital and your earnings break free from the hours you work. So what is a digital asset? It's a product, content piece, or online service created once that can be sold, consumed, or monetized repeatedly over time. This is where things get genuinely exciting. This is the exact pivot point where true wealth generation begins. The crucial shift here is going from selling your time to building a digital entity that hustles for you 24/7. You do the heavy lifting exactly once, but because it lives on the internet, you can get paid for it hundreds, even thousands of times. You are officially no longer constrained by the 24 hours in a day.
Now, these digital hustles do require a bit more upfront learning, but the global reach is insane. Take faceless short-form videos. You don't even have to be on camera. You use stock footage and great scripts to build an audience that platforms will pay you for. Or affiliate marketing blogs. You review a product you love and you earn a commission every time someone clicks and buys, even if you wrote the post 3 years ago. You could build niche Discord servers and charge a small sub for a VIP community. Create student, sell your study notes globally, or start a dropshipping store, selling products without ever touching a single piece of inventory yourself. Look, this stage takes patience. You're planting digital seeds, but the harvest, it's a total game changer. And the scale of this opportunity is just hard to wrap your head around. Look at video consumption in India alone. It's projected to skyrocket from 450 million viewers today to 700 million in just 2 to 3 years. That is creating staggeringly huge markets for content creators. Think about that. If you create a digital product today, why limit yourself to your local city when you could be selling to 500 million people across the globe? The entire connected world becomes your customer base. Okay, brace yourself for this one. Some teenage creators report earning up to $500,000 a month running faceless short-form content on platforms like Snapchat. Now, before you march into your boss's office and quit your job right the second, let's be real, we need to view this extreme number as a proof of concept, not a guaranteed starting salary. But we report this neutrally because it undeniably highlights the insane monetization power of modern social media when you leverage the algorithms correctly. It perfectly illustrates infinite scalability. Once you understand human psychology and how a platform works, the traditional financial ceilings just vanish. Part 4. Passive income. This is the final stage, making your money and assets do the actual heavy lifting. This is it, the fully flowing pipeline. This is exactly what wealthy people mean when they say they make their money work for them. Instead of working for every dollar, you're deploying your dollars like little employees. You could invest in dividend-paying stocks, buy a piece of a giant company like Starbucks or Pepsi, and they literally pay you a portion of their profits every quarter just for owning it. Or look at what you already own. Got a spare room? An idle car, or empty storage space? Rent them out on apps. If you have the capital, you could even try angel investing. In this stage, you are completely decoupling your time from your earnings. As a concrete example, peer-to-peer lending platforms have historically offered average returns of around 5.4%. If you aren't familiar, it's basically where you act as the bank. You lend your cash directly to individuals or small businesses online, cutting out the middleman, and you collect the interest. Again, it's about your existing assets, your cash, acting autonomously to bring more cash back to you without you lifting a finger once it's set up. Part 5, the selection framework. With dozens of side hustles out there, how do you actually pick the right one? Finding the right fit means you've really got to look inward. Step 1 is assessing your capacity. If you stare at a spreadsheet for 8 hours a day at work, a screen-based side hustle might burn you out fast. Maybe dog walking is the physical reset you need. Step 2, consider your spatial limitations. If you live in a tiny 4th-floor walk-up apartment, flipping bulky vintage furniture is going to be a nightmare. You have to tailor this to your environment. And step 3, just get started and adapt. If you overthink it, you'll never begin. I absolutely love this 3 I's framework: interest, investment, and income. It provides a perfectly logical test to weed out the bad ideas. Whenever you're considering a new venture, ask yourself, first, interest. Am I genuinely interested enough to not get burned out? Second, investment. Do I actually have the time and money to start this? And third, income. Is the potential return motivating enough? Let's be real. If an idea has great income potential but zero interest, you'll be bored to tears and quit in a month. If it has incredible interest but no income, well, that's just a hobby. If an idea fails any of these 3, sideline it and keep looking until you hit the jackpot on all 3. Finally, part 6, your next financial step. Let's tie all of this back to your personal journey. Look, the ultimate takeaway here is that relying solely on a salary caps your potential, while building side assets opens the door to infinite scalability. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a steady 9-to-5. It gives you stability and a foundation, but our sources today clearly show that the true engine for monumental wealth generation happens outside those standard hours. It's about making that transformative shift from just earning a living to systematically building an empire of digital and passive assets. So I'll leave you with this question. Are you going to keep carrying buckets, or is today the day you finally start building your pipeline? Think about your skills, your time, and your environment. What small, actionable step can you take today? Whether it's signing up for freelance work tonight, recording a quick faceless video tomorrow, or investing your first $100 next week. The secret is just getting started. The details will sort themselves out along the way.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I really hope this empowers you to go out and build your own incredible financial pipeline.